If you plan to study marketing here in Ireland or have recently finished your course, this video is for you. Finding the right job, right career option is the most important thing when you are looking for a job in a new country. And if you have studied marketing, there are hundreds of jobs that might be relevant to you, and you may need a really good strategy to break down your job searching journey. This video is for you because here I will break down the entire structure of how do you find the right opportunity for you, what kind of things and roles you should apply for, what are the kind of details of the job description you should look at, and how to structure your complete approach so as to land the best possible job here in Ireland. Marketing has changed completely. It has so many aspects to it. And when we are looking for a career, we need to decide, do we want to go more on the technical side or more on the non-technical or creative side? Say you decide to even go into like a technical product that does marketing, like Google Ads, say. There also you need to, work on expanding your skills. It's not just about knowing marketing, but you also need to know other kind of things like communication, sales, how to find business, pre-sales, post-sales. There's a whole, universe within working in a marketing company. You also need to decide what kind of company you want to work for. Do you want to work for a regular company that has a marketing function within itself? So it could be, say, a pharmaceutical company that has a marketing function within it. Or do you want to work in a company that does marketing as a business? So for example, TikTok or Google or, other kind of companies that are coming up like LinkedIn, which also has like marketing solutions. So understanding what field you want to go into is really important. There are other kinds of options as well for people who want to embrace the agency life, agency culture, where you basically work with clients and you empower those clients to, successfully advertise that with themselves with like marketing tools at their disposal. So that could be different media channels. And you basically need to learn both client management and also the ins and outs of marketing when you're working with them. So when you are on the search for a good job, you need to first make sure that what are your skills? What are the kind of things you want from the company? Yes, the role is important, but there are other factors that also come into consideration. Are they hiring, international people? Do they focus on diversity? Are they willing to sponsor your visa if you need one? What kind of policies they have around remote work, or do they have like a full office culture? And are you willing to, go to office 5 days a week? I know that is something that was normal, but that has changed completely. So for a lot of people, they prefer remote working environment now. You also need to understand what kind of benefits that companies offer. Do they have, good health insurance, dental insurance? Do they provide you with benefits to, say, do an external course if you need to? You also need to look at like the salary expectations, obviously. So if you're someone who has experience, are you willing to do maybe a graduate role, which is a huge thing for a lot of people, that they come with a lot of experience from their country and they may have to start all over again in a new country. So, when you are breaking this down, you need to first identify what in marketing you want to do. It cannot be open-ended anymore. Your CVs need to reflect that you are a good fit for the role you are applying for, because if there are things that are not on your CV and you're applying for the role that requires them, your CV will automatically get rejected. I truly believe marketing is one of the most dynamic career options out there. It is constantly changing. It is changing daily, and we are literally experiencing a time right now where things are no longer the same. Marketing is no longer just about, consuming ads in terms of like what's on TV and looking at what brands are doing. It is now a two-way street where, there is proper gathering of data on how people are engaging with content. It has completely changed in the last 5 years, I would say. Moreover, the marketing landscape is changing every day and you have to constantly upskill. So say you don't know SEO, which is search engine optimization. Is that something that you can learn when you are still looking for the job to add to your CV? If a company requires you to know LinkedIn ads, for example, can you do a certification on LinkedIn ads? Are you also, researching about it? As someone who works in marketing, I spend a lot of time also looking at what other platforms are doing. When I go on to Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok, I am not just there consuming content mindlessly. I love to see if there's any new feature they have added. Is there anything new that they're doing? Is there any new kind of audience that is on the platform? So I really like to look at all of those things and read about it. And I do subscribe to newsletters of like various marketing websites that also send me information about what is changing, and I do tend to read them. So whenever I am, talking about it, say to a client, or if you are preparing for an interview, you should know what is happening within the industry and not just what you specialize in. And because this is such a dynamic field, things are changing, AI is coming in, new platforms are emerging, new features are emerging. So you need to stay on top of the trends within the vertical when you are applying for these roles. This is my golden tip for people who want to start working in marketing. Don't just look at your field, your company, what you're doing on an everyday basis. Try to find more information on what's happening in the entire vertical. As I said, it's a very dynamic field. Things are changing every single day. There is new innovation coming from so many companies. And if you want to really stand out within this, sphere, you want to come across as a person who has good knowledge about the field, you need to invest yourself in studying about what other platforms are doing, how is it changing, how is data working, how is tracking working, what kind of new innovations each platform is bringing, what is TikTok's USP over other platforms, how is the user journey, how is the demographic changing, why is Gen Z different than millennials, how should they be approached. So for example, Gen Z has a 7-second attention span. So that's why short format videos are picking up, like YouTube Shorts, TikTok videos, Reels. So these kind of things really show that, marketing cannot be the same. What we consumed when we were 5 years old was just TV ads with no way to quantify or capture like what's the impact of it. It has changed now, it has become measurable. And then there are so many things that are changing every day that you need to stay on top of your vertical to really show yourself as a person who is adapting and evolving with the industry. Now to talk about the roles in marketing for fresh graduates who have just decided, after college, they want to pursue the field. So as I said, identifying what aspect you want to work in, what kind of company you want to work in is really important. So what I recommend, if you decide that you are someone who wants to work in a marketing company, you can look for SDR roles, which are sales development representatives. Yes, those are sales driven roles, but if you are working in, say, Google and you are an SDR there, you are working with the product, and that's a great entry point for someone who wants to, grow in that career. So a sales development representative has to look for new business. They have to be on phone calls. So you may need to be someone who enjoys talking to people and is inquisitive by nature. So you need to be on the phone and people and businesses that will be willing to buy that product. You understand their pain points and you offer them something, and then once you are able to do that, you fix a meeting with like people who work as account executives or account managers in your company. So that's a great starting point for people who are starting their careers. You can also look for roles such as marketing executives, brand strategists that are entry level. If you're in Ireland, a good starting salary would be 28,000 euros to 35,000 euros, which is, I think, good enough for someone who is very early in their career. You can look at independent agencies. You can look at smaller companies if they are willing to sponsor your visa, where you can really grow your skills. You can work maybe with an e-commerce brand, which is like kind of small to mid-scale, so that you can really learn the ins and outs of business. You can learn like other tools that might help you land your next job, your dream job. So there are different ways you can, find roles. Use LinkedIn, look at entry level roles. And in Ireland, there's a great platform. It's called Grad Guide. And it provides you one-on-one mentorship with people who've like worked in different roles in different companies, and you can request to book a call with them and get guidance. And I think they also have a Slack channel where they post about openings in their own companies. So it's mainly targeted at fresh graduates who are looking for their first careers. If you are a mid-level person who has had prior experience and has worked in the field, as a professional in the last couple of years, you have 2 or 3 years of experience, you are eligible for a mid-level role here in Ireland. So you can look at the roles of account managers in agencies. You can look at, account strategist, customer success, if you want to join an agency as a PPC specialist or a specialist of a certain ads kind, or if you want to go into the creative side, you can look at those levels. So those salaries range between 40 to 50,000, 55,000 on a good day. So those are the kind of roles that, they value your prior experience. They value that they don't have to train you from scratch, and you can, hit the ground running from day one, and you are able to grow well within that role quite easily. So you can look at independent agencies again. And if you have, like, say, experience with, say, Deloitte in India for, say, in their marketing department, then it kind of fits in Deloitte Ireland also if you want to join marketing. So, it might be of value that you have experience in the same company in a different country, and you can, like, it's a transferable skill that you can employ in the new country and in the new job you take. Finally, if you're a senior person, or you want to, like, look for a job that's a bit more technical, a product marketing manager is a great role. It is a role where you talk about how the product is brought to market, how should it be advertised, what is the product's USP, how is it posed against its competitor products, what's the audience feedback on the product, how can the product be improved further. So a product marketing manager is kind of in the middle of a product manager and, like, engineers and with all departments, and making sure that the product rollout is seamless and people are using and interacting with the product as you hope they would. And then you kind of improve the product, you take that feedback to the different teams, and you kind of are the middle person between sales teams also. Like, you are giving them information about the product, and they are basically going out and then testing that product with different clients and stuff like that, and then they come back to you, they report to you that these are the challenges, this is the feedback, and then you take it back to engineers and product managers. You can also apply for senior roles in companies, senior account manager, marketing directors, and you can also do different roles within a company. So if you have good technical experience, you might be able to also switch your domain by transferring those skills to a different company. So say you worked in a SaaS based company in your home country, and now you want to work in a marketing based company, so you should be able to apply those skills there. So the options are quite a few. LinkedIn is your really good friend where you can find people with similar experience. You can connect with them, try asking for referrals, apply for jobs early on, constantly keep applying, give as many interviews as you can to completely understand what's the process, how is it different from what you are used to and exposed to in the past, what kind of questions they are asking, how will you tackle those questions. Read about the company, read about what's changing, have good questions you can ask them about, look at how their teams are based, and what's the scope for you as an individual when you, say, join the company and start working there. So I hope this video is of value. I would love to talk about more roles and more kind of opportunities. So if you have any ideas, please leave it down here. This idea was also by someone who commented on the video, so I found it of great value and it really helped me streamline the process. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful day and all the best for your jobs hunting process.